Guys, this is a 1590 Master Nightfall, and look what happens to this boss. We literally almost one-shot him with this build. It's absolutely insane, and I'm definitely taking this into Grandmasters. Now, before we get to the build, make sure you join my Discord server, as you will find all my videos in one nice channel in there, and if you have any questions you can simply message me through there. In this build, we will be combining Star Eater scales with Parasite, as well as a couple of damage boosting mods to further increase our damage. Before testing this, I thought, oh well, it's just another Star Eater scales build, but oh boy how wrong I was. I mean, this build is able to deal 1.1 million damage in a matter of 2 seconds. You might be thinking, okay, that's some great burst damage, but what about the total damage tray? Well, because we are able to throw 1.1 million damage in 2 seconds, that leaves us with the rest of a boss phase to use whatever weapon we want to further increase our damage, and I don't know about you guys, but snipers and fusion rifles are absolutely insane at doing this. I mean, Cartesian Coordinate hits for 40,000 per burst, and it has 19 freaking bursts in the mag. That's already almost 900,000 extra damage that you can add up to top off the combo. You see where this is going. This build not only has the highest burst in the entire game, but it also has a very good total damage that rivals with top meta builds this season. I mean, I managed to pull almost 2 million damage while trolling around, and you can easily pull way more than this. Stat-wise, as always, you wanna prioritize resilience, then mobility, and then discipline. For our abilities, we are going to be using Gambler's Dodge, and that's simply because it's gonna recharge our melee ability. I also like to use healing grenades because they allow me to play even more aggressive when my dodge is on cooldown, and they also save my teammates from time to time. Starting off with the aspects, we are going to be using Knock 'em Down to increase the damage of our blade barrage, as well as give us our knives back whenever we kill an enemy with them. Next up we have On Your Mark, and I love this aspect because it allows you to reload so much quicker, and it's simply a very nice passive buff to have on you. Fragment wise, we are going to be starting with Ember of Torches to make us and our allies radiant whenever we throw our melee. Next up we have Ember of Singeing to help us get our dodge much quicker. Ember of Solace to increase the duration of radiant and restoration effects on us. Ember of Beams to allow our blade barrage to hit more consistently. And for the last one, I like to use Ember of Wonder, simply for the 10 resilience that it provides. However, if you want to use Ember of Empyrean instead, then feel free to slot it in. The reason why I don't like Empyrean on this build is simply because we already have infinite dodges as well as infinite melees, meaning we will not be running out of restoration or radiant anytime soon. Next season, Empyrean will most likely be a must here, as hunters will only be able to get restoration through our healing grenade, which has a much higher cooldown than our dodge, meaning we are going to want to extend the duration by using Empyrean. Starting off with our helmet mods, we are going to be using Font of Might for that nice 25% damage boost to our solar weapons. We also combine this with Double Harmonic Siphon to create those orbs whenever we kill enemies with our solar weapons. High Energy Fire is what we are going to be using on our gauntlets, and this provides a 20% buff to our weapons whenever we are charged with light. On our chest piece, we are going to be using Melee Well Maker to create those wells with our infinite melees. Now, I know that at least 25% of you don't own this mod, then feel free to swap it out for either Elemental Ordnance or Explosive Well Maker, both combined with a Trip Mine Grenade. Worst case scenario, you can also use Elemental Armaments, but that's very random and it might not drop you a well whenever you need it. Now, for those of you that don't know what Star Eater Scales does, it basically gives us more super energy whenever we pick up Orbs of Power. And while our super energy is full, it gives us a stacking damage buff that increases our super damage. It goes up to a 70% damage increase at 8 stacks. It also provides you healing and an overshield if you use your super at max stacks. We are going to be using Wall of Life on our leg armor for that extra healing whenever we pick up a solar elemental well. The reason why we are running this is because I want this build to be future proof, and in the future we solar hunters are going to need that extra healing because classy restoration will be gone at the end of this season. And finally, for our clock, we are going to be using Elemental Charge to make us charge with light whenever we pick up an elemental well. We are also using classy restoration because we might abuse this while it's here. Next season we simply swap it out for another utility kickstar. Weapon wise, a solar weapon for your energy slot is a must, as this is how we will be producing orbs. The Ogma PR6 with adaptive munition is absolutely amazing, as it shreds through shields even when match game is on. For our kinetic weapon, you can run whatever you want. I usually run weapons capable of dealing with champions. And for our heavy weapon, we 100% want to run Parasite, However, I will also mention that Galahorn as well as the Lament are also decent alternatives, but I would rather stick to Parasite as that's what the whole build revolves around. Alright, a couple of tips I can give you when it comes to playing this build is to not be afraid to use your super. You will be making orbs left and right, and your super is going to recharge fairly quickly. Also, do not be afraid to use your Parasite. It absolutely one-shots champions, and it's such a satisfying thing to do. However, if you know that you're about to face a boss, then save up your super as well as your Parasite stacks to make sure that you are fully prepared to delete him from this game. When you're about to face that boss, all you have to do is spawn a well right before the encounter starts, pick it up, throw your knives at the boss to make sure that you're also radiant, and then go crazy and absolutely destroy that boss. The well will proc high energy fire as well as font of might, and the knives are going to proc radiant. Honestly, I am so split between my Ahamkara build and this one. If you also can't decide which one to play, let me tell you that you want to play this build whenever there is a boss that you and your team want to kill as fast as possible, that way it doesn't go into unnecessary phases making the whole run longer. This build kind of locks you into using Parasite, whereas Ahamkara allows you to run any weapons you want. At the end of the day, it's personal preference. I love both builds and I'm absolutely going to use both. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you could leave a sub, like and comment, I would really appreciate it. Also, big thanks to those that have joined my YouTube members. I really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching the video and have a great rest of your day.